Are your kidneys quietly screaming for help, and you just have not realized it yet? If your creatinine levels are stuck high, no matter how carefully you follow your diet, drink your water, or take your medications, then you are not alone. This is a common frustration I see among patients, especially those who are trying to stay ahead of their kidney health. What is even more surprising is that many people are unknowingly making one serious mistake every single day that keeps their creatinine levels high. This mistake is often disguised as something healthy, which makes it harder to spot. Before we go further, let's get clear on why creatinine even matters. Creatinine is a natural waste product that comes from muscle metabolism. Your body produces it at a steady rate, and your kidneys are supposed to filter it out through the urine. When kidneys are functioning well, creatinine levels remain stable. But when creatinine starts to rise, it is a red flag that your kidneys might not be filtering as efficiently as they should. Elevated creatinine levels are an early indicator of chronic kidney disease, and even slight increases can signal damage that could be irreversible if left unmanaged. According to a 2020 report by the National Institutes of Health, individuals with high creatinine levels have a higher risk of cardiovascular disease and even early mortality. Now here is where it gets important. You might be trying your best to eat clean, cut down on sugar, or take protein for energy and muscle support. But what if something in that routine is backfiring and slowly putting stress on your kidneys? That one mistake could be preventing your creatinine levels from improving, and we are going to look closely at it in just a moment. Also, make sure to stay with me until the end, because I am going to share 3 bonus strategies that can support your kidney health further. One of them involves a fruit that many people avoid due to myths around potassium, but in the right portion, it can offer anti-inflammatory benefits to your kidneys. You really do not want to miss that. Now let's get started by breaking down what this one major mistake is that may be silently raising your creatinine without you realizing it. It is something I see far too often, and it can happen even with the healthiest intentions. So here it is. Let's talk about eating too much healthy protein and how it can cause more harm than good if you are not careful. Most people think they are doing their body a favor by choosing organic plant protein powders, lean meats, or soy-based products. They believe this is the healthier choice. But for your kidneys, especially if you are already experiencing a slow decline in kidney function, this overload can quietly create damage over time. The first thing to understand is how protein behaves once you eat it. Protein is essential for muscle health. That part is true. But during digestion, protein breaks down into nitrogen-based waste products. 2 of the most common byproducts are urea and creatinine. These are supposed to be filtered out by your kidneys. When you eat more protein than your body actually needs, your kidneys have to work overtime to remove the excess waste. Over time, this puts stress on the nephrons, which are the tiny filtering units inside your kidneys. Even when you switch to plant-based proteins thinking they are safer, the same issue can happen. In fact, many plant-based protein powders contain added ingredients like creatine, which naturally converts into creatinine in your body. So while your intention is to reduce inflammation or support energy, you might actually be increasing the very marker you are trying to lower. Have you ever looked at the ingredient label on your protein powder? Do you see added creatine or amino acid boosters listed? That could be part of the problem. Now, let's talk about how much protein you actually need. The recommended range for someone with reduced kidney function is around 0.6 to 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. That means if you weigh around 150 pounds, which is roughly 68 kilograms, your daily protein target should be somewhere between 40 to 55 grams per day. That is not a lot. However, what I see in most food logs or meal plans is that people are eating anywhere between 80 to 120 grams of protein every day. This often comes from breakfast shakes, protein bars, eggs, meats, nuts, and added powders. Why is this so common? It is because people have been told for years that more protein equals more strength and energy. But this only works when your kidneys are functioning normally. When your filtration rate is already under strain, that excess protein cannot be cleared out fast enough, and what does not get removed builds up. That is when creatinine starts to rise. Have you ever added protein shakes or protein bars to your daily routine because someone told you they would help build strength or protect your muscles? If so, type yes or I used to in the comments. I want to see how common this is among you. Now, let us look closer at the danger of protein supplements. Many over-the-counter protein powders are not regulated the same way food is. This means you could be consuming hidden ingredients that are harmful to your kidneys. Some products contain creatine, which your body converts directly into creatinine. Other powders are processed from soy or pea isolates, which are very concentrated and not always easy on the kidneys. These supplements also often contain thickening agents, artificial flavors, or preservatives that can increase the toxic load your body has to process. If your kidney function is already limited, these extra chemicals just increase the burden. Let me share a story here. A patient of mine who was in his early 60s came to me with borderline high creatinine. He was fit, walked daily, and thought he was doing everything right. His breakfast was always a protein smoothie with plant-based powder, almond milk, and a handful of spinach. Sounds healthy, right? But he was consuming close to 100 grams of protein daily between meals and snacks. After reviewing his labs and symptoms, we reduced his protein intake down to around 45 grams a day, removed the daily protein powder, and replaced it with whole foods like steamed lentils, lightly cooked vegetables, and a bit of egg white during the week. Within 8 weeks, his creatinine dropped from 1.5 to 1.2, and his energy levels actually improved. That is the power of right-sizing your protein intake. So what can you do starting today? First, stop thinking that more protein always means better health. You need the right amount based on your weight and kidney function. If you do not know your glomerular filtration rate, ask your doctor and use that as your guide. Second, aim to get your protein from whole sources like lentils, small portions of nuts, well-cooked egg whites, and gently steamed fish once or twice a week. These are easier for your body to process and come with natural fiber or antioxidants that support your digestive and renal health. Third, do not exceed 1 gram of protein per kilogram of your weight unless you are doing so under medical supervision. And finally, avoid daily protein powders unless your renal dietitian has specifically approved them for your stage of kidney health. This advice might go against the popular wellness trends, but your kidneys do not care about trends. They care about balance and manageable waste levels. Over time, if you continue to overload your system with more protein than your kidneys can handle, especially in chronic kidney disease stages 2 and 3, it can speed up damage to the glomeruli, which are the main filtering units in your kidneys. Once these are damaged, they do not regenerate. Have you been tracking how much protein you eat every day? If not, take a look at your usual meals and add it up. You might be surprised. If you want help understanding your numbers, post your daily intake in the comments, and I will help you review it. Now you might be thinking that cutting down on protein is enough to lower your creatinine. But here is something most people forget. Even what you drink first thing in the morning could be silently working against your kidneys. That is right. Let us talk about the hidden risks in your morning routine in the next section. You are going to want to hear what dehydration from caffeine and low water intake is really doing inside your body. Keep watching. Before we go on, I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments where you are watching from and what your biggest health goal is right now. Are you working on managing your kidney numbers, improving your energy, or just trying to feel better each day? If you feel this kind of practical, research-backed content is helping you, type the number 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 so I know what direction to take next. And if staying stronger and more in control of your health matters to you, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you do not miss the next important strategy. Now let us talk about a factor that most people never think about when it comes to high creatinine levels: dehydration. This might sound simple, but the science behind it is important. Creatinine is what is called a concentration-sensitive marker. That means your levels are not just influenced by how much your body is producing, but also by how diluted your blood is when the test is taken. So if you are not drinking enough water throughout the day, your blood volume is slightly lower, which causes your creatinine reading to appear higher than it really is. This effect is very real and has been observed in multiple studies. Just a few hours of mild dehydration can make a difference on lab results. Have you had your creatinine tested during a time when you had not had much to drink that day? That might have skewed your numbers. Many people also do not realize that caffeine plays a part in this. Drinks like coffee, black tea, or even soda may give you fluids, but they also contain compounds that work as mild diuretics. This means they push your body to produce more urine, but that does not mean they are hydrating you. In fact, if you drink caffeine throughout the day without enough plain water to go with it, your net hydration could be low. I have seen this many times with patients who say they drink fluids all day, but when we look closer, most of it is coffee or tea. Do you rely on coffee or energy drinks to get through your morning or afternoon? And how often do you balance that with water? Share how many glasses of water you have had today in the comments. Just a number. I read them all and I want to know how you are doing with this. Another issue I see often, especially in older adults, is mistaking thirst for other things like fatigue or mild confusion. As we age, the body's ability to sense thirst naturally declines. Some people feel tired or lightheaded and think they need food or caffeine, when in fact what their body really needs is water. This leads to a chronic state of low hydration, and over time, that can push creatinine numbers higher and make kidney function look worse than it truly is. If you feel that you are not thirsty often, or tend to forget to drink, try setting a reminder. Even small, consistent sips across the day make a big difference. So, what should you do if you are not drinking enough water? The general recommendation for most people is to aim for about 1.5 to 2 liters of water per day. That is about 6 to 8 cups, unless your doctor has specifically told you to limit your fluid intake. If plain water is hard to drink, you can add natural flavor from cucumber slices, fresh mint, or a little lemon. You can also use a low-sodium electrolyte powder a few times a week to make hydration more enjoyable, especially if you are sweating or active. Do not fall into the trap of thinking only sports drinks or flavored water count. Pure water is what your kidneys need most. And remember, if you are drinking coffee or tea, add extra water to balance the fluid loss that comes with caffeine. Also, watch for signs that you are not hydrated enough. These include dark yellow urine, dry mouth, headaches, or feeling sluggish in the afternoon. Sometimes even brain fog is related to hydration status. Staying ahead of thirst is much better than playing catch-up later in the day. Dehydration often goes unnoticed, yet it silently pushes your creatinine numbers higher and leaves your kidneys under unnecessary pressure. Just improving your hydration habits can lead to better lab results within a few weeks, especially when combined with adjustments to your protein intake. I have seen patients go from 1.4 to 1.1 creatinine just by making these two changes consistently over 6 to 8 weeks. Keep watching this video till the end, because the last two foods will surely surprise you. Now here is a tricky one that surprises many people. There is a fruit that some kidney patients try to avoid because they think it is too sweet or too tropical, but in reality, it may actually protect the kidneys thanks to its anti-inflammatory effects. Are you ready to learn what makes pineapple worth adding back to your diet? Keep watching because what you learn next may change your approach to fruit entirely. Pineapple is one of those foods that often causes confusion, especially for people trying to protect their kidneys. Many individuals assume it should be avoided simply because it is a sweet fruit, or because they hear it is tropical and high in sugar. But not all fruits affect the body the same way, and this is where understanding the science behind pineapple matters. If you have been cutting it out of your diet thinking you are doing your kidneys a favor, you might want to reconsider after hearing this. What sets pineapple apart is a natural compound it contains called bromelain. Bromelain is an enzyme that has been shown in various studies to reduce inflammation in the body, including in the kidneys. Inflammation plays a central role in chronic kidney disease progression. The more inflamed your kidneys are, the less efficiently they filter waste, and over time, this contributes to higher creatinine levels. One study published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences highlighted how bromelain provided protection against renal oxidative stress and ischemic injury, which are key processes in the decline of kidney health. That alone should get our attention. Now, beyond bromelain, pineapple also contains vitamin C and a range of natural antioxidants. These compounds help protect the tiny blood vessels in the kidneys, called glomeruli, which are essential for proper filtration. When these vessels are damaged, creatinine starts to build up in the blood, so anything that protects them is worth understanding. Pineapple does this without delivering high levels of potassium, which is a concern with many other fruits like bananas or oranges. In fact, compared to those two, pineapple has about 1/3 of the potassium content, making it much safer in moderate amounts for people trying to manage their levels carefully. You might be wondering, how much is safe? Based on current guidelines and what I have seen in clinical practice, consuming fresh pineapple in small portions, about 1/2 cup 2 to 3 times per week, is generally well tolerated by most people with stable kidney function. If juicing is your preference, fresh pineapple juice, not canned or sweetened, in portions of 3 to 4 ounces once or twice a week, can be a refreshing way to benefit from its anti-inflammatory properties. Just make sure it is unsweetened and not mixed with other juices high in sugar or additives. One thing I often recommend is combining pineapple with other hydrating and kidney-friendly ingredients. A simple cucumber and pineapple salad with a little lemon juice and mint makes a great snack or side that supports hydration, reduces inflammation, and helps support better digestion. This combination gives you not just the benefits of pineapple, but also hydration and digestive support, which are often overlooked but deeply connected to kidney wellness. Now let me ask you something. Have you been avoiding pineapple or other fruits out of fear they might raise your sugar or potassium levels? Type yes or no in the comments. I ask because many people are unsure about what fruits they can safely eat with higher creatinine or reduced kidney function. That is why it is so important to look at the specific properties of each food, not just broad categories like fruit is bad or fruit is good. Pineapple, when eaten fresh and in the right portion, might be one of the more supportive fruits for kidney health when used wisely. And before we move on, let me also clarify that canned pineapple is not the same. It often comes with added sugars and syrups that can spike blood sugar and offer none of the real anti-inflammatory benefits. Stick with fresh and always consult your doctor or dietitian if you are unsure how it fits your specific dietary needs. Now here is something many people overlook completely. You might be cooking every day with an ingredient that is actually keeping inflammation alive in your kidneys without you realizing it. And yet, there is one simple switch you can make that brings powerful kidney protective effects with every meal. Keep watching, because next, we are talking about the benefits of extra virgin olive oil and how it compares to other cooking oils in reducing kidney stress. Olive oil is often praised for its heart benefits, but most people do not realize how powerful it can be for kidney health too. When used correctly and consistently, it becomes more than just a cooking fat. It acts as a source of anti-inflammatory protection, and that can make a real difference when it comes to managing creatinine levels and protecting kidney function over time. What makes olive oil especially valuable is its content of oleic acid and polyphenols. These are not just nutrients. They are active compounds that directly influence inflammation pathways within the kidneys. Oleic acid is a monounsaturated fat that is known for reducing inflammatory responses, particularly in the lining of blood vessels. In the kidneys, these vessels are part of the filtration system, and when they become inflamed or damaged, creatinine can no longer be cleared from the blood efficiently. Polyphenols, which are natural antioxidants found in extra virgin olive oil, go even deeper. They help fight oxidative stress, which is a major trigger of cellular damage in people with chronic kidney disease. This is not theoretical. Research published in peer-reviewed journals has linked high polyphenol diets, especially those using olive oil as a main fat, with a significant reduction in kidney damage markers, including creatinine and proteinuria. There was a study involving Mediterranean diets that found a 35% lower risk of chronic kidney disease among those who consumed olive oil regularly. This was not due to just one factor, but olive oil played a central role in the way the diet supported vascular health and reduced inflammation. That is something I have also seen over and over again with my own patients. Those who shifted from processed oils like canola or soybean to cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil and used it daily in small amounts noticed improvements in blood pressure, inflammatory markers, and even in creatinine stability over time. But let me be clear, not all olive oil is the same. Many people think light olive oil is better because it sounds healthier, but that is actually more refined and stripped of the polyphenols that make olive oil useful in the first place. You need extra virgin olive oil. This is the first pressing of the olives, where most of the antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds are still intact. It should be slightly bitter or peppery in taste, which is a sign those polyphenols are present. If your oil tastes too smooth or flavorless, it may not be giving you the protection you think it is. The amount you use matters too. You do not need to drown your meals in it. In fact, using just 1 to 2 tablespoons per day is enough to support kidney health. You can drizzle it over steamed vegetables, use it for light sautéing, or mix it into dressings. What I often suggest is to keep 1 bottle of high-quality extra virgin olive oil in your kitchen just for finishing dishes, not for deep frying or heavy cooking. Olive oil is stable at medium heat, but starts to lose some of its protective compounds when overheated. If you are currently using vegetable oils or cooking sprays, take a look at your bottle. What kind of fat are you using on a daily basis? Do you check the label for purity and type? Do you use olive oil every day, or are you still using vegetable, soybean, or canola oil in your meals? Your answer will help others in this community learn from your choices, and I always respond to every comment. You never know how your input might help someone else take a step toward better kidney health. Switching to olive oil might seem small, but it is often these daily choices that add up and either protect or stress the kidneys further. When inflammation is involved, and it always is in chronic kidney disease, every ingredient counts. So instead of just thinking of olive oil as a healthy fat, start thinking of it as part of your kidney care plan. Now, there is one more ingredient that many people know as a spice, but rarely think of as a therapeutic tool. It has been shown to block inflammatory pathways and reduce kidney fibrosis. And most surprisingly, it is backed by human studies, not just theories. That ingredient is curcumin, the active compound in turmeric. And it could be one of the most overlooked kidney protective tools out there. Let us take a closer look at that next. Turmeric is often thought of as a joint-supporting spice, but the compound that gives turmeric its strength, called curcumin, can do much more than ease aching knees. Curcumin has been shown to support kidney health by targeting inflammation at a deep tissue level. Chronic kidney issues usually involve a progressive process called interstitial inflammation and fibrosis. Fibrosis means the scarring of kidney tissue, and once this scarring builds up, it becomes harder for the kidneys to filter waste like creatinine effectively. That is why anything that slows or prevents fibrosis becomes critically important for protecting long-term kidney function. Research from the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology has confirmed that curcumin works in synergy with omega-3 fatty acids to protect the kidneys. This means when these two are combined, their effect is not just doubled, it is amplified. Omega-3s reduce overall systemic inflammation, which is often elevated in those with chronic kidney disease. Curcumin, on the other hand, goes after local inflammation, specifically inside the kidneys. If you are not including both in your daily routine, then you might be missing an opportunity to stabilize or even improve your kidney health. Do you currently take turmeric or omega-3s? And if so, are you combining them? Another important point that often gets missed is how poorly curcumin is absorbed on its own. It passes through the digestive tract very quickly, unless it is paired with something called piperine. This is a compound found in black pepper, and research shows that it can increase curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. This is why taking turmeric without black pepper is not nearly as effective. So when you are cooking with turmeric or drinking turmeric tea, always add just a pinch of black pepper to activate it properly. There are many simple ways to add turmeric into your meals without making major changes to your routine. One of my favorite methods is making a turmeric tea. Use a half teaspoon of turmeric powder, a small piece of fresh ginger, and a dash of black pepper. Then let it simmer in hot water for 5 to 10 minutes. It is warming, easy on the stomach, and deeply supportive of kidney health. If tea is not your thing, you can stir turmeric into soups or even into kidney-safe smoothies. It blends well with nut milk, ground flaxseed, and even cinnamon. You do not need large amounts. What matters is consistency and proper pairing. In my years of experience with people managing mild to moderate kidney issues, I have noticed that those who are consistent with using anti-inflammatory ingredients like turmeric often report fewer symptoms and more stable lab values. While this is not a substitute for medical treatment, it is a powerful addition to a smart lifestyle plan. Have you tried using turmeric consistently for more than a few weeks? What results did you notice, if any? If you found this helpful, please take a second to like the video. And if you have not subscribed yet, do not forget to hit that button and turn on notifications. Comment below and let me know if turmeric or black pepper is part of your diet. And make sure you stay tuned, because in the next video, I will be sharing something that often gets overlooked completely in kidney care. You will not want to miss that one.